just turn away from us and go in normally. We're just going to knock some glass out here.
This one here, look.
I've just measured up for those two there.
I really couldn't see, you know.
No.
I don't know much about him really, you know. As I say, I've just seen him a few times, you know.
Yes, yes. Would you tell us what you?
Oh.
Hold on a second. Sorry. Let's put another.
On the side of the road, is he going to have a look in there? Straight rider? So in fact they're allowed to go down on the ground. Yes, we see. Okay.
Did it surprise you that there should be so little security surrounding a high-ranking officer of the Marines? Did it surprise you there should be so little security surrounding an officer of the Marines? Did you realise that he was in the forces? What sort of a family were they? Did you ever see Sir Stuart dressed in ceremonial uniform?
Well, I saw him on a couple of occasions and he had a uniform on, but I didn't realise he was anything official. I really thought he was from the Salvation Army because he used to have a stripe down his leg and a hat on.
But he was obviously a member of some official body.
Yeah, some official body, yes, I think so.
Did he ever have anyone with him?
He used to have a car with him and a chap just let him out, and I often saw soldiers with him as well. One or two soldiers in green uniform, and just let him in and let him out and drive off quickly, you know.
What sort of family did they seem to be?
Well, they kept to themselves. I really don't know much about them, but I just saw them a few times and they more or less kept to themselves, you know.
Okay, thank you. wait till we're ready.
Okay.
Look at me, ignore them.
Yeah.
Did you know that Sir Stuart Pringle was in the Marines?
I knew he was in the Marines, yeah, but I didn't even know he was a sir at the time, actually. As I say, I knew he was a ranking officer, but what rank he was, I didn't know.
How did you know that?
Well, I saw him once or twice, you know. Well, I say, and he got a batman and that there as well, and a chef and that, and they don't have them for plain soldiers.
Do you think that was a fact generally known in the area?
Along here it was, yes.
Are
'Cause
you-
I know one man that used to try and ask him what rank he was and everything, you know. But he asked me and all, but I didn't know his exact rank.
Does it surprise you that a man of that high rank should live in this road without much security?
Well, in a way, it surprised everybody down here. You know, they said to me they were surprised that there was such an high-ranking officer living along here. They thought he'd probably live like Allen Park, Allen Road, somewhere like that, you know, and where they got a bit more, on their own, you know, away from everything. But it's so obvious along here when he comes out.
What sort of a family were they?
Oh, very nice people. Yeah. I get on well with all of them, actually. Yeah.
Was he ever seen in the street in ceremonial dress?
I don't know. I never see him. As I say, I've seen a car pull up now and again for him, but I've never seen him. You know. They do come and pick him up, I know. But
Right.
quite often his wife used the car what was blown up. Yeah, she used it more than he did, I think. Yeah.
Okay, stop.
Thank you.
Did you know that Sir Stuart was a member of the forces?
Yes, yeah, we did.
How did you know that?
Just by seeing him going out,
Dressed in
dressed
uniform?
in uniform.
Were you surprised at the lack of security surrounding him?
Well, we were really, but we don't quite understand. I mean, you know, what security he's got. We never made it our business.
Did you think possibly when there was a bomb blast the preceding Saturday that perhaps he might be a target for the future?
Well, we weren't sure, but we weren't really surprised.
Did you discuss it at all?
Only between ourselves, when we saw him going out the days.
And what happened actually on the day?
Well, it's all a bit blurred. I mean, I saw the explosion, and my father was out in the road, and I expected to see him blown up. And I tried to phone the police. The phone wasn't working. I knocked next door, the phone, she was out. And I think there must have been a police car around here, because in no time the police were here. And they cordoned it all off. And we were all sent back in because they thought the car was booby-trapped.
What sort of a man did he seem to be to you and your family?
Seemed very nice. We never really spoke. My father spoke to him, but we didn't speak. We just sort of saw him going in and out, and that was it.
Right. I'm going to go back and ask you the first questions again because I think you're a lot more relaxed now, if that's all right. So pretend that I haven't
I'm
asked
still shaking
them.
from Saturday.
No, I'll ask you again, and if you can answer them as fully as possible, all right? Did you know that?
Yes, we can.
Did you know that Sir Stuart was such a high-ranking officer?
Yes, we did.
How did
Yeah.
you know?
We've seen him in his uniform going out.
Were you surprised at the lack of security surrounding him?
I was, yeah.
Did you and your family anticipate when the preceding Saturday there was a bomb that he perhaps might be someone who could be affected in the future?
Were we surprised? Not really.
What I want, just stop a sec. What I want to get from you is the fact. Well, I mean, yes, because there's no reason why you shouldn't do. I mean, it's just I'm just asking you what you as a family did. I'm not asking. Did you and your family anticipate when there was a bomb attack the previous Saturday that perhaps the steward might be someone who could be affected in the future?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Had you discussed it at all?
Yeah, we discussed it amongst ourselves. We weren't, we were surprised, but we weren't.
What was
Put it
your
that way.
immediate reaction when you heard the explosion?
Well, we knew it was a bomb straight away.
Were you surprised at the lack of security surrounding Sir Stuart Pringle? Did you think after the bomb the preceding Saturday that Sir Stuart Pringle could be one of the persons affected if the IRA continued its campaign? What happened to you yesterday? What happened to you on Saturday afternoon? Let's do some nods. Okay, I'm just going to ask you that. All right, so what do you think about what's happened?
Well, I think the man's entitled to live wherever he pleases. I live here, temporary, but I know he was in the army, but he's still entitled to live where he wants. Don't matter what rank or whoever he is.
What do you think about what the IRA did?
Well, I reckon it's terrible. But that's it, what can you do? It's the way of life now, I think. You've just got to put up with it. See? But I think he's entitled to live wherever he wants to live.
Do you think people are any safer because they live with a great deal of security?
Not really. I think if your time's up, it's up. That's what I think.
Okay, that's lovely, thanks. What sort of a man was Sir Stuart?
Well, military bearing, and I'd often seen him in the evening before.
All right.
Right.
I'll just
Okay.
put some more colour bars on in case they didn't get down before.
You all right then? Sorry, we'll start that again if that's all right with you. Are we running?
Yeah.
Ready for sound?
If a big lorry goes across,
Yeah,
just ask
okay.
again.
What sort of a man was Sir Stuart?
Well, he's a nice, tall, military bearing man. I'd seen him in full evening military dress, and I've often seen the black Labrador dog, being taken for a walk.
Did it surprise local residents at the lack of security surrounding him?
Oh, it does. It seemed to surprise nobody really. Not many people really knew who he was at all. I've seen the Batman there occasionally, attending to the car.
I know you weren't here when the explosion occurred, but generally, did residents think he might have been in line for something like this?
Well, now people know he should have been in more security for him. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the guy who took the floor off, isn't it?
I don't know, sorry.